Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is your tarot and oracle reading and rune reading for the month of January 2024. The rune that came out for you is called Wanjo, and it came out in reverse, which is very interesting because as I was shuffling your cards, I randomly started thinking about this time where I dated someone for 2 years, and every single tarot reading I would do on this relationship, the lovers always came out in reversed, which if you're not a tarot reader, this is a card that's basically like, yeah, this isn't gonna last. And I was in denial about it. I was like, you know what? Whatever, like I was just ignoring it. I was pretending like that card didn't come out. And just like how I was ignoring a lot of red flags and everything, I was idealizing this person. But in reality, they were a mediocre, lukewarm type of love, and it was something that I ended up not being interested in, and, you know, there ended up being problems, you know, emotional immaturity. So we ended up breaking up inevitably, as the tarot cards were trying to tell me all along. Literally every tarot reading I got was like, this person ain't it, this person ain't it. You can't see it now, but like, it's a waste of time. And I didn't listen, and I romanticized him, I idealized him, the rose-colored glasses were on, and I ignored it. And when I was thinking about that as I was shuffling your cards, right? Well, I set the intention for this to be your reading, Taurus 2024, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But that just popped into my mind right after I set that intention. And then Wanjo comes out in reverse, which is also a card of overly idealizing certain situations. So this could be a relationship, a romantic partner. This could be a business partner. This could be the idea of like moving somewhere, the idea of a new job. I feel like there's something in your life that you're overly romanticizing the idea of it. And when you perceive the reality of it, you may be left disappointed because of that. I just read something the other day like called the Paris syndrome or whatever. A lot of people like idealize going to Paris and it's going to be this magical, beautiful city, and you know, they just think once they land everything's going to be magical until they leave, instead of like actually planning like a good trip. And you know, like the expectations are way beyond reality essentially, and then because of that you're left disappointed. And so Taurus, I'm just reading it how it is, okay? I don't sugarcoat these readings. I feel like there is something or someone in your life right now that you're overly romanticizing the notion of it, like, okay, this person is it for me, or this job, or this major in college, or whatever. You're overly romanticizing it, and you have to remember that all people have a negative shadow side, you know? You're not gonna 100% like everything about anything, especially locations. I feel like every single location on the earth is completely neutral. I always view them as neutral because it's like every single location you could possibly move to or visit has pros and cons, and I don't think any one area is better or worse than the other. So there's that. Like even if you go to like places like the middle of nowhere, like next to like a manure plant, and it's like nothing to do, you may think, oh, that's worse than like somewhere more fun. But then of course the land is dirt cheap, the houses are dirt cheap, everything's dirt cheap. So there are pros there. You have more spaciousness. So there are pros and cons to everything if you're willing to look at them, okay? Don't overly romanticize something. But let's get more information. We have 3 energy oracle cards. First, we have the World. Okay, you're closing a major chapter in your life this month and opening up a brand new one. Hopefully we'll get more information on that. We have Healer of the Ages in reverse. Okay, this is really interesting, Taurus. I'm seeing a lot of healing going on for you personally this month in general. And we have indecision. Okay, the time has come for you to make a decision, and you may be torn on what to do here, okay? So these are some pretty general energies that you'll be dealing with this month ahead, and I want to get more specifics here and see if these energy oracle cards can make more sense. So we're going to get 6 tarot cards, 2 rows of 3. First card out for you is the 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, guys, I'm going to be honest. When this card comes out, it gives the feeling of like not really belonging in a crowd, in a group of people, in a group of friends. So I don't know if some of you guys feel really out of place with like your coworkers or the friends that you once surrounded yourself with. You're not really feeling like you're resonating with them anymore. Or even in your family, for some of you, you just feel like the black sheep, like you don't belong. I feel like there is a group here, an energy here, where you're just like, it's not for me. And I think a lot of peace a lot of peace will come by just accepting that, okay? So that person that I was just talking about that I dated for like 2 months, I'm gonna use a lot of personal examples, guys, because this is how I read. Spirit brings me examples from my own brain, sort of as a divination tool, okay? That person I was talking about, we're still friends to this day, okay? And it's beautiful. We're much better as friends than we ever were in a relationship. However, his personal friends, like his group of friends, I do not get along with, okay? Like, I don't really feel like I fit in. We're very, very different on like every single level. And there's even like one person in that group that just goes out of her way to hate people who aren't her immediate close friends because she's a very jealous, insecure person, okay? And I'm not the only one who saw this trait. So I really feel uncomfortable every time I'm in that group of friends. And so I had so much like peace wash over me when I like mentally decided, you know what, I can be his friend without having to ever go to any group events with him. Like, you know what, that's where I draw the line. And you know, there's tons of friends in our life who are good for some things, bad for others. And I feel like when we admit that, it puts so much pressure off the other person. And it allows us to enjoy the friendship for all the good attributes and not be so stressed about the bad attributes. For example, I had a friend back in the day, so many personal examples. I had a friend back in the day who gave really good advice, amazing, incredible advice. However, she like would never leave her house. Okay, so she was not the friend I would call up if I wanted to go out and have a fun night out on town, you know. She was the type of friend where like if I needed to have a deep heart-to-heart conversation and a relaxed night in, I would go hang out with her. But like I knew she wasn't good for going out, okay? And you know, I could have sat here and been mad about that and like, oh, like you never want to go out with me, you're such a like bad friend, blah 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 blah, and ruin a perfectly good friendship. But instead I said, you know what, radical acceptance. This is who you are and that's fine. I'm not going to try to change you. This is why it's important for us to have a community as opposed to just one person that we rely off of, because one person can't be our everything. You know, you're going to have friends who are wonderful for deep heart-to-heart conversations. You're going to have other friends who are only good for drinking and going out and having a good party time, dancing and all of that stuff, but they might suck at giving advice. Or if you're like upset and you try talking to them, they are just like the worst at handling emotions. And that's fine too. You know, you don't have to have this extreme depth and like every need met with every individual in your life. You can have a community of people who have different strengths and different weaknesses, and you embrace that about them, and you just radically accept a situation as it is. And you don't have to hang out with anyone who you don't feel comfortable with. I think that's another piece of wisdom from the Three of Cups in reverse. So for a lot of you, you may be romanticizing people, and then when they fall short of your expectations, you get very upset with them. You feel like upset, you know? And it's just like, accept people for what they can offer in your life. Accept them for what they bring to the table, you know? Yeah, okay. Second card out is the Tower. Oh my gosh. Sudden change, okay? The Tower comes through to break down anything that's built off of a toxic foundation. Okay, now having the Tower come out right next to the Three of Cups, some tarot readers might get scared of this combination because this can be a combination. If this was like a love reading, this could represent like finding out unexpectedly that someone has cheated on you, or, you know, sudden ending, sudden break in a relationship because your trust has been betrayed. It's not even like cheating, just cheating, you know, it's just your trust being betrayed. So this is not a message that's for the majority of you even, but I do feel like a select few of you watching, if you have intuitively been feeling recently like someone is not being a faithful friend or lover, okay, they may secretly like have some jealousies towards you, talk behind your back, or literally be cheating on you, I would really pay attention to that at this time. And here's something else I want to say. First off, trust your intuition. Okay, trust your intuition. One of my best pieces of psychic advice for you to become more in touch with your psychic abilities is don't wait for your intuition to prove itself to you. Because if you wait for your intuition to prove itself to you, you end up with tower moments here, where your entire reality is shaken to the core. Okay, what does that mean? Everything, like your rhythm, your routine in life is completely comes crumbling down. So for example, if every single day you talk to this person, you have a phone call with them, you hang out with them, they're a huge critical part of your day. However, you have a nagging intuitive nudge, they're not trustable, they don't like you like that, whatever. If you ignore that intuitive nudge and wait for it to prove itself to you, you're gonna find out suddenly that they were like, betraying you the whole time, whatever. And then that's gonna shake your whole routine up. And then you're gonna have this empty feeling of like, everything that my life was built around is crumbling now. It's like that song Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. It always comes back to that song. That song always makes me cry. How does it go? I'm afraid of changing because I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older and I'm getting older too. And the whole song is about sort of like a relationship crumbling. And, it's like you're getting older, you're getting wiser, more mature. And, the person who you built your schedule, your routine around, who is a huge aspect of your emotional well-being, it's like negative now. It's not healthy, it's not positive. And so you're having to have this landslide to bring this whole situation down. Go listen to that song. For some of you, I am seeing that story, which is, obviously not the most pleasant of experiences to be going through. But I want to see the cards surrounding the tower because this can honestly be talking about anything. Okay, 9 of Wands is next to it. This is a card of self-protection. So I do feel like you guys are very mature. And yeah, it is a situation where you're getting older and wiser and, more beautiful, more glowing. And you want to protect your heart. You want to protect everything that you've built for yourself in your life, your well-being, everything. So, because you've been hurt before as well. This little warrior, he's been hurt. He has a bandage on. He's doing everything he can to protect what he's got. Okay, and not have someone take all of his happiness, all of his peace away. Wow, second row of cards out, fourth card, 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, right underneath the 3 of Cups in reverse. Interesting. For others of you, the sense of betrayal that you may be experiencing here is someone who can't make up their mind about you. Okay, so this could be someone who, if it's romantic, they have commitment issues, or they just keep prolonging a conversation about what are we, whatever. Which is equally, not fun to go through. And it is also a sense of betrayal, especially if they're leading on, that there's deeper feelings or whatever here. And with the World card coming out in your reading, you're just wanting to close out any confusing chapters in your life at this time and go back to a place of security and inner peace. I feel like that's your main motivation for January, is to get rid of anything that's just confusing you, that feels weird, and make some pretty strong decisions when it comes to just, do I get rid of people or situations? Do I not? How long am I willing to wait on this decision? The indecision card is not a really pleasant place to be. I feel like the sooner you trust your intuition and take action on that intuition, the sooner you will be experiencing peace, okay? And then we have the Hierophant coming out in reverse. Okay, this is, I understand why you guys are so hesitant to listen to your intuition, okay? But the Hierophant, when it comes out in reverse, it's actually saying, listen, don't take into account the advice from the people around you right now, because they have not walked in your shoes in the various situations in your life that you may be worried about right now or that you're going through right now. You are the only person who's 100% walked in your own shoes. So you need to listen to your own intuition beyond what anyone else is saying here, okay? In fact, the Hierophant in reverse is saying that your ability to listen to your intuition may be lessened at this time because there are people around you who are giving you advice that is quite far off from what your intuition is saying. And it could be very well-meaning, but for example, going back to the example I gave in the beginning of the reading here, with that relationship I was in for 2 years, where my tarot cards kept giving me the Lover's reverse. There were so many signs all around me that I was ignoring. I had the closest person in my life, like my absolute best friend. Every time I would get in an argument with this person I was in a relationship with for 2 years, they would always give me advice on how to work it out with this person, oh, you can make it work this way, that way, whatever. They never really gave advice on maybe you should just leave, and they were coming from a very nice place of healing and love and all that, but my intuition was telling me to leave, and I wasn't listening to it because I was really relying heavily off of the advice from the people around me, because I had the belief within myself that my ability to listen to my own intuition when it came to relationships was broken because of having a past that was filled with toxic relationships. It has broken my ability to see red flags. And so I'm I just have to listen to the advice of the people around me and what they think about the people in my life, because clearly my ability to detect red flags and avoid them is broken. So I had this negative false self-belief that, I couldn't make my own decisions. And the Hierophant in reverse is saying you can make your own decisions. Your intuition is telling you what to do here. In particular, I feel like you're breaking down something that is not built on a sturdy foundation, okay? But you're receiving advice from people at this time that is not in your greatest good, okay? It's well-meaning. You don't have to hate the people giving you advice, but this is saying really make your own choice right now and try to avoid asking others for advice. What I would recommend doing is a lot of journaling, way more than you think you need. When I was going through this period of figuring all this out, I was journaling 3 whole pages a day. It took an hour, 2 hours sometimes, but I committed to doing it because first off, it's gonna take a lot of journaling, especially if you're not someone who's ever journaled for a while, because you probably have so much unprocessed emotions that you don't even realize. And just let it come through, free form journaling, whatever comes to mind, comes to mind. It's one of the best tools, one of the best spiritual tools that are not talked about enough. That's not talked about enough. We have Page of Swords coming out as your final card for January. I see so much self-reflection, guys. You're leaving this month with a clear mind and the answers that you need, the decisions that you need. I see you making pretty big decisions that will lead you to further happiness. I feel like you're accepting people exactly where they're at and setting up the proper boundaries accordingly, For example, no longer expecting your friends to be everything that goes into being a good friend, They can be bad at giving advice, that's fine. You can still be their friend. They could not enjoy going out and dancing, and that's fine. You can still be their friend because you have multiple people in your life. And if you don't, well, you need some, so... I feel like this month is all about getting healthier in your relationships and your mindset. It's a beautiful, beautiful month to do that. So listen to your advice, do some healing, make some decisions. You got this, okay? Thank you for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this month ahead, especially watch for those signs because there's so much more in this month and so much more positive things that are coming through. So watch for all of your signs, okay? And if you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. Especially get my 2024 tarot and mediumship reading though, because it is up for a very limited time. It will be gone forever by the end of January. So go ahead and get that now. Okay, this is an hour-long personal reading where I dive into 2023, what you've learned, how it's brought you to where you're currently at. And then I'll go over many different areas of life for 2024. I will touch upon any subject or question that you're especially concerned about. So you can email me any relationship that you're worried about, situation you're worried about. If you want me to touch upon it in your reading to see how this will unfold in 2024, you'll have the opportunity to do that. And I will make space for your spirit guides, ancestors, past loved ones, or any spirits who want to communicate with you to come through and deliver loving messages to you. And it can get very, very specific. So go ahead and get that now before it's gone forever. And I also have my spiritual life coaching sessions and goddess energy intention oil on my website. So check all of that out. Bye-bye.